There is no feeling quite like it. That moment when you touch your newborn and they feel warm, maybe too warm. Your heart just drops into your stomach, right? Okay, first, take a deep breath. You are in the right place. We're going to walk through the most critical medical rule for your baby's first few months, and we're going to do it step by step. The whole point here is to give you a clear, calm plan that cuts right through the fear.
So let's just put ourselves in that moment. It's probably the middle of the night, your baby feels hot, and your mind is just racing with questions. Is this a big deal? Should I wait it out? What do I even do? Well, there is one single piece of information that silences all that noise. It's the anchor for every single decision that follows, and it all boils down to just one number.
And this is it, 104 degrees Fahrenheit, or 38 degrees Celsius. For any baby under 12 weeks old, this number is basically an on-off switch. It is the absolute, non-negotiable definition of a fever. We're not talking about 100.3 or just feeling a little warm. Nope. This number is the golden rule. And once you see it, the entire emergency plan is set in motion.
Okay, so why? Why are doctors so intense about this one specific number in these tiny little babies? I mean, think about it. When your toddler gets a fever, you give them some medicine, a few extra cuddles, and call it a day. But for a newborn, the entire rulebook is different. And it all comes down to their amazing, but still developing biology.
A toddler's immune system, it can build a little fortress around an infection and keep it contained. A newborn's just can't do that yet. Their immune system is totally new, and their blood-brain barrier, that crucial wall protecting the brain, it's still under construction. And what that means is that a simple little bug can explode with terrifying speed into a body-wide infection like sepsis or even meningitis. So here's the bottom line. Doctors have to treat every single newborn fever like a worst-case scenario, until they can prove it isn't.
All right, so now you know the why, and it's a really big deal. But knowing the risk only helps if you get the how right. To get that all-important number, you have to measure it with 100% accuracy. The tool you use and how you use it are just as important as the number itself.
Look, we all love those little forehead scanners. They're so easy. But for a newborn, they are just not reliable. They measure skin temperature, which can get thrown off by anything. A warm blanket, snuggling against you, you name it. For a baby this young, the one and only way to get a true core body temperature is with a rectal thermometer. And I know, I get it, that sounds intimidating. But trust me, making a life or death decision based on a bad reading is way, way scarier than the few seconds this takes.
And honestly, it is so much more straightforward than you think. Let's just walk through it. First, get a digital thermometer with a flexible tip, and maybe label it with a Sharpie so it never gets used for anything else. Second, coat that little silver tip with a whole bunch of petroleum jelly. Third, lay your baby on their back and lift their legs up, just like you're about to change a diaper. And fourth, just gently insert the lubricated tip about ½ an inch, really just until the silver part is gone. Then you just hold it there until it beeps. That's it. You can totally do this. Okay, so you've done it. You took the temperature, and the number on the screen is 100.4 or higher. Take a slow breath. This is the moment where the plan takes over. All the guesswork is done, the uncertainty is gone. From this point on, you are just following a clear, simple protocol. Now, if you take away only one thing from this whole explainer, please let it be this. Do not, under any circumstances, give your baby Tylenol or any other fever reducer. A fever isn't the actual illness. It's the body's alarm bell screaming that something is wrong. It's the main symptom doctors need to see. If you give them medicine, you're not fixing the problem. You're just silencing the alarm. You're accidentally making the doctors fly blind. So here's the plan, plain and simple. What you do, put your baby in their car seat and go straight to the nearest pediatric emergency room, or call your pediatrician's after-hours line right away. Now, what you do not do is just as important. Do not wait an hour to check again. Do not try to cool them down with a bath. And, as we just covered, absolutely no fever-reducing medicine. Right now, your job isn't to treat the fever at home. Your job is to get your baby to a doctor who can find out what's causing it. Let's be real for a second. Going to the emergency room is awful, and the fear of what's going to happen just makes everything 100 times worse. So let's pull back the curtain and talk about exactly what you can expect when you get there. Knowing the playbook can really help turn that fear into focus. Okay, you're probably going to hear the phrase full sepsis workup. And yeah, it sounds absolutely terrifying, but I need you to hear me on this. This is a standard, routine safety protocol. Let's reframe that. Don't think of it as a sepsis workup. Think of it as a total safety inspection.
The doctors aren't assuming the worst, they're just being incredibly thorough to rule it out. And honestly, that's exactly the kind of careful approach you want.
So what does this safety inspection actually look like? Well, first, expect to skip the waiting room entirely. A newborn with a fever is a top priority. They'll do a few tests, a blood draw to check for infection, a urine sample which they get with a tiny catheter, and yes, very likely a lumbar puncture, also called a spinal tap. And listen, watching your tiny baby go through this is heartbreaking. It is okay to be upset. The hospital staff, they get it. But you have to know these tests are what keep your baby safe. After that, they're often admitted for about 48 hours just for observation. And you need to remember through all of it, you did the right thing by being there.
Having a sick newborn is one of the hardest things any parent can go through. But just look at what you have now. You have the rule, 100.4. You have the method, a rectal thermometer. And you have the plan, no medicine, go straight to the doctor. That knowledge is power. It doesn't make the fear disappear, but it absolutely transforms that raw, helpless panic into focused, effective action. You are your baby's advocate. You are their greatest protector.
So at the end of the day, the antidote to panic is preparedness. You're armed with this critical information now. So my last question for you is this. What is one small thing you can do today, like right now, to make sure you're ready? Is it buying that thermometer and labeling it? Is it looking up the address of the closest pediatric ER and saving it in your phone? Just think of one little step. Because being prepared is the single greatest gift you can give your future self in a moment of crisis.